to Fortress Festival here in Scarborough, and I am here with the lad from Abduction, and you've just torn me apart. I have to say, I've never seen an opening band play like a headline band. That was exceptional.
That is quite a claim, young man.
Well, you had the crowd with you. I mean,
thank you. We put a lot of effort into making that performance more special. And Jack put all the visuals together, and obviously we did the album in full and fresh. You do it. We probably should have written the rest of me. We should have done that. But other than that, yeah. So we tried to make it better than White Bruce. That's what I'm trying to do. Come on. Because you're on first, like, set the standard. There's a lot of pressure on that. But I think we haven't really had a chance to process anything yet, but it felt
great. It's a very English band. I've never seen that on the first band. And everyone seems to know the song. They knew which parts to headbang at. They knew the break.
They did.
They were
dimming out, fucking told them.
Yeah, right.
No, it was very cool. I'm really pleased.
Yeah, man.
You never know how this thing's going to go. Yeah, I'm sorry you call it.
Yeah, there must be valid days. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I understand a large part of the performance with the visuals. And there's been a couple of people that say how it was both unsettling and euphoric at the same time. Was that the aim? There was a sequence where a girl was stabbing herself, which has been earmarked as somebody that was surprisingly amazing.
Wow. So that was for Truth. Truth. When I was putting together the VFX for it, we had a sort of idea of how we wanted it to look, and then because of time constraints, that idea went out the window. So I was like, right, we've got about a week to get this done. About a week before Fortress anyway, and like, how can I portray what the song's about visually to an audience, but also not trying to take too much attention away, which I don't think I'd succeeded at because it's right there. But so it was actually so I took a screen recording of a film called Abduction,
right,
which is apparently the most disturbing film is made.
I think it's quite a good conversation.
It's a great film. It's basically a black belt album cover. And so I got the idea because when Phil first started Abduction and was playing live shows on its own, or at least attempting to, you used Forgotten on a projector using the film running in full. So I was like, right, that's cool. It's Acidolka. So let's see if that works. And I was editing it together, and it was like I just felt horrid. Like I'm just having to keep watching it over and over again. Like that bit's right. I'm now watching Forgotten, and I'm just like,
you're going into detail.
Exactly. So if I feel uncomfortable watching it while I'm editing it in my own home, then I can't imagine how it translated to a room full of people whilst we're playing at the same time. So if it is mentioned and it's something that is remembered, it's like,
job done.
I did my job well.
My hands up now. Is that what I was saying? We're upset because it was stabbing. Now,
reflection.
No, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it, so. It was just, it was a feast. I don't think Marcus were but we knew it was going to be big kids. But I love those ones. It took me back to when, this totally different style. I mean, Dillinger Escape Plan. Opened a download stage at 11 o'clock in the morning, and everyone was dancing to new band and had their heads so we off.
So, at the risk of sounding untrue, I love Dillinger Escape. And do you know what? Now I know a lot of people at this festival love Dillinger Escape. In fact, I saw a guy in a Genghis Tron t-shirt yesterday.
And I was just like, no way.
Genghis for
Yeah, mate.
But Dillinger Escape Plan, like, I think that if you're going to open a festival, you've got to open a festival and sort of put your mark on that festival. Because having that opening song is tough, but if you do it right, people will remember it. And like, that's a great thing.
Yeah. I think the opening slot can actually be very important for because you've got everyone hyped. Everyone's hyped to get going. And if the right band comes on, does the right performance, that is more indelible than the headline.
It's definitely taken if you do it right. Yeah.
Briston, no, I will say, having the headline act announced after our set, might have helped quite a bit.
Disclaimer.
I'm not saying that we couldn't pull that crowd, but it's like we played at in Spain 3 weeks ago, and we had a great crowd then.
Yeah.
Might have been a huge storm outside that prevented everybody from leaving. It's all up for debate.
Well, they're all banging their heads, and you can't make them do that. So that album in full makes perfect sense as well. In fact, I can't imagine listening to it any other way now. Because it's kind of hard to cherry pick tracks from that album because they work so well in sequence. This is sort of like in full. Well, this in full approach. Is this something you go to be doing later on?
It depends how much you pay.
Down, yes.
No.
We've how long it took us to sort of figure that track list out in the run-up to the actual release of the album. We were like, this is the order, and then 2 minutes later,
this is that order.
Yeah.
Not of them are artistic reasons. They're all to do with technical reasons. Besides pressing A, pressing
Oh yes, of course.
all that kind of thing.
I think if it was up to us, it would be a totally different order. having to limit yourself to 20 minutes aside for a violin or something. Yeah. That forced our hand to.
Yeah.
This is the only way we can do it.
The songs are all quite long, so you find quite quickly that that's really difficult to get what you want on one side and split nothing in half. So, we're quite capable of doing it again. It's no problem.
Yeah, it's all the work's done.
We did it a while ago in Manchester, but in a different order.
And we can't do it this year again.
Why?
Oh, there's just exclusive.
No, we can't.
There we go. That's what.
In theory, yeah. I mean, we've played all them songs in different orders now, different ways around. We've got all the visuals and stuff. Obviously, we're all taking stuff to Europe.
Yeah,
and I'm going to do it again. I'm a bit insatiable because I'm like, that was cool, but now it's not.
Yeah, but we don't have a huge LED screen. I suppose so.
One of the wonderful things about technology these days as well is that you can have that sort of film synced up as well perfectly. Yeah. So it's like whereas before, like obviously when you started, you just put the film on, like the images wouldn't hit the breakdown.
No, exactly. Like that. We obviously it was all synced up today. It was all cute by us, and the whole thing runs as one thing. So I mean, really pleased. We didn't know what to expect. Genuinely didn't know how to do that. This is a lot of pressure, like we said, but we went absolutely swimming.
It was huge. So I'm really looking forward to where you go next. I understand you've got this summer and there are any other festivals?
We've got this thing in Nottingham, the Vanguard Festival.
Oh, Vanguard.
So like a mixed genre thing, but loads of Nottingham Black Belt on that show, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Some friends from there. And then we have we're playing the Portal in Manchester.
Nice. So another big festival.
It's September or something. Yes, it's only like three UK dates. This one I actually keep forgetting. I keep forgetting our show. And that'll be incredible. I'm sure they're going to be insane. And then we've got a couple of things in Europe in December. We haven't worked up a minute, so we're playing a big festival in Berlin and then a big festival in Monster. Around the same weekend. So we're building some shows around Melody, Winter Melody, and do more to make the album. That is. I think how do you like my Latin in critical plan? It's better than mine.
Well, my final question that I'm asking everyone on this bill.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a top newcomers, the old black metal scene, and you had one track to seduce them into listening to black metal, one track that sums up this genre, well, all different facets of this genre.
Yes. Does it have to be a track?
It could be an album. I'm about to stretch this out to an album for Sylvain. So
Make it difficult.
So I've got one YouTube video that I would recommend to any person wanting to get into black metal, and that is Black Man Scrap Car, Gorgoroth. Do listen for.
Incredible. Yeah, not from Fame that bit, dude.
That or for a little bit of a bonus, the Immortal set from Wacken.
Yeah.
2007 or
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's
Is that the Blizzard Beast one?
2007.
I think there's like, you can see one song and it's like the sun no longer rises. Like, that's a separate video, like a separate YouTube video, but they recorded the whole set. I'm not sure what the actual set was, but yeah, it's just a great introduction to sort of black metal, you know.
So you, Phil?
I don't know what video. I was thinking of a song or an album. It's going to be mayhem, and it's going to be The Mysterious Dodge Temper.
Fair. That was a lot of people's first.
Yeah, it's a Gateway album, and it's still fucking killer. What if it's a track? I don't know which track.
Oh,
It's Life Eternal. Life Eternal. Yeah, Life Eternal. That The Mysterious, have to be. Purple Colours is the Creek.
Brilliant. And since it's the last interview and all this, my thing would be I'm Black Wizards by Emperor. Would be my chin.
That would have been my choice. I did a countdown of my top black metal albums a while ago.
Yeah.
That was my number one album, so I chose that. Mayhem was number 3, I think.
I'm going to walk away from this and be like, why can't I say this song? This song's way better than that, or like, so...
I'm lying, but they're good.
And on that bombshell, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Phil.
Pleasure was over. Great to meet you, man.
And you too, sir.